Welcome to this episode of Diaspora Scholars TV, where we bring you stories about students, scholars, and professionals who've left their motherland to come to the U.S. To study for betterment of themselves, their families, the countries they come from, and the countries they live in. So today I'm delighted to bring you the story of Linet Maranga, right?
Yeah.
And she's a student at Youngstown State University, located in Ohio. So welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you to meet you again. And yeah, I'm excited to to share your story or to listen to your story with the rest of the viewers, particularly those in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are a student here. So I mean, you study Master of Arts in English.
Yes, Master of Arts in English and Literature.
Master of Arts, okay, in English and Literature.
Yeah.
So how did you come? I know we talked a little bit, but you want to share with our viewers how you came and, a little bit about that?
Okay, before I came, I had done a lot of applications in the U.S. schools. I did apply to around 12 schools, and I got admitted, I got admissions to most of the schools, but they could give partial scholarship, and so I was not able to go. I really wanted to go to a university called Pepperdine State University.
Where is that?
It is in California.
Pepperdine?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wanted to go there because it was my favorite, but they only gave me partial scholarship. And I thought it could be very difficult for me to live there. And the living cost in California is a bit higher than most of the states in the U.S., as you know. And that discouraged me, and I started to look in other places. So the first time I went to the interview with a different school. In fact, it was Pepperdine, and I got a refusal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a visa refusal, and so I went back home to repackage myself. There's this friend of mine, she's called Pacifica Marita. We used to teach in the same district, in Kisii South.
Oh, so you are a teacher?
Yes.
Let's talk about that then. Yeah, I've been interviewing many students in the U.S., and it turns out there are quite a number of people who are teachers in Kenya. So you are a teacher?
I was a teacher.
Employed by the Teacher Service Commission?
Employed by TSC. I had taught for around 13 years. So, the challenges we face as teachers.
Sometimes. What challenges you face as teachers? I mean, I'm sure you are a successful teacher.
Yes, you teach, but one of them is we have so many students we deal with in the class. The development there is not so much. Poor roads, especially in the rural schools. We strain a lot going to school. I remember when...
So what school was that you are teaching?
I was teaching at Nyakora Secondary School. It is in Marani Sub-County, Kisii County.
Nyakora? You say Nyakora?
Nyakora.
Nyakora.
Yeah, when I got employed there, believe me, the roads were not done. We used to walk long distance to school. And when you look at the end of the month, what you get is very little. It discourages you, and you don't have the heart to go to school. I remember it was a funny event. Like the principal could just call and tell us, "Oh, today it has rained. Let us meet tomorrow." So you can imagine how worse it was. So it was impossible, and you could spend 1 hour to go to school, and you are tired at the end of the day.
You say Nyakora.
Yeah, Nyakora.
So students of Nyakora secondary school, if you are watching, this is where your teacher went. Your teacher is in the U.S. and she's studying a master's of arts in English. And, I'm sure you sometimes miss your students.
I miss my students, especially in Nyakura, since it was my first school.
So you taught there your entire time?
No, I got a transfer, but later, and I didn't stay in the new school. So I normally identify myself with Nyakura Secondary because that was where I was posted the first time, and it is where I gained my experience for a very long time before I went to a transfer. Yeah.
So you seem to be saying that you are inspired by, the state of affairs in the school, the neighborhood. You are desiring to get a better job or a better career, and you thought that would come through education. So you started applying.
Yeah, I started applying. When I was there, we encouraged each other in the staff room. In fact, I have a master's from Kenyatta University.
Oh, you have another master's already?
Yeah, in linguistics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I finished in 2014.
Yeah. That's about 10 years ago.
You can see I really tried to apply and, to exit from high school to see if I can get maybe a job as a lecturer and improve my life. Unfortunately, that is the time when they started to introduce, like, if you want to become a lecturer, you have to have a PhD to some extent, and it really barred us. Most of us who are doing part-time teaching, all of us, our contract was terminated.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how unfortunate.
Yeah. So we wanted, personally, I wanted to improve my life. Personally, I wanted to better my education, better myself in terms of payments. I like good things in life. So in order to get those things, I really wanted to get out of teaching. So
you would rather teach at a university?
Yeah. Because the pay was good. And
I mean, the pay of a lecturer, right?
Yeah, even when I did my work part-time as a lecturer at Kisii campus, the pay was good.
Okay, yeah. Hold that thought. So I'm beginning to tie the pieces now.
Yeah.
That you've been able to graduate in 2014 with a master's in linguistics at Kenyatta University, located in Nairobi, Kenya. Then looks like you had a stint as a part-time lecturer at Kisii University in the western part of Kenya. But then you are still holding on your teaching job in high school. But this thing of wanting to further your career further was still in you, right?
Yes, so much. So I had to look for opportunities. In fact, most of my time I used to be online, searching for opportunities, teaching opportunities, school, masters, PhD. Me, I could apply whether PhD and masters, although I realized it's easier to get a master's admission than a PhD, because I tried and I could get an apology, like, we cannot accept
a regret letter.
Yeah.
But at one point you say you had applied to 12 schools in the US.
Yes.
That was a bit overboard, right?
Because
to increase your chances.
You have to really, when you want something, you really have to work towards it. And not that I'm bragging, but I'm telling you, I looked for around 200,000 Kenyan shillings when I started to do these applications.
That's about $2,000.
So I decided,
and that's not little money in Africa.
And I was doing what we call double chance. I was looking for a teaching job at the same time looking for my master's. So, and most of these schools, you apply, you pay application fee. They want your course by course evaluation. So you have to go to WES and do course evaluation, or use span term.
So by WES, you mean the World Education Services?
Yes.
So World Education Services, viewers, if you are watching from Africa, is an organization that equates your credentials to fit or to become like the US credentials, right?
Yes. And when they do that, we really pass. Because our grades, when they convert them, they are very good.
So you mean, for example, if you've gotten like a grade C in introduction to literature, if they do the equivalency in the US, it may actually move probably to a B or better.
Yeah, it moves to a lower B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It improves. So
it improves.
So in the end result is that you have a higher GPA than the one you had in Kenya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it costs some money, right?
It costs a lot. It costs a lot because you have to like send your certificates from school, so you have to go back to the college where you were, get official documents you send to them so that they do the evaluation. The cheapest, the least I know is 27, but if you want them to,
you mean $27?
27,000 Kenyan shillings.
Oh, 27,000 Kenya
but
shillings.
Like me,
that's about $200.
Yeah. So like me, what I did is I used Pantone at one time also, and I used US because that was the requirement of the school. So Spantan, I spent 33,000 because I requested them to get my official transcripts from my former undergraduate school, and in West I used around 26,000.
So these are two organizations.
Yeah.
We have WES and Spantron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they belong to the nurses, like the nurses organization. So these are like verified companies which do verification of documents. Of
academic documents.
Yeah.
So then eventually, so you are now trying to figure out, you are doing all these applications.
Yeah.
What I'm beginning to wonder, it's about 10 years since you did your master's in linguistics.
Yeah.
So in that period, you've really, really mentored, many students, in high school and maybe at Kisii University as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But let me trace your life back. So where were you actually really born? In Kenya, where did you do your early education? Because it's starting to sound like a story of resilience and hard work. Yeah.
Yeah. I was born in around early 80s, and my father and my mother were living in Molo.
Okay, that's
where I grew up.
That's in Nakuru County.
Yeah, we used to we had a big plantation of pyrethrum. That is what actually helped us to.
Those days, pyrethrum was really doing well.
Yeah, it was good, and a kilo could go for around 130. And that time in the 1990s, 130 shillings was a lot of money. 1 kg. Yeah. So my father was a businessman. Through the plantations, he bought many matatus.
Passenger vehicles. Taxi vehicles.
Yeah, they used to be called Langwenda Smart. It was so popular.
You guys were rich.
Yeah, so I always tell people
you guys were rich.
Sometimes I tell people richness is in the soil. So we used to farm.
It's in agriculture.
Yeah, to farm, and then that's what actually made our life better. And but during the crashes, we had to move back to Kisii, and it affected my education. So I had to go to a school in Kisii. So I went to.
So you might have lost it at some point.
Yeah, in fact, a whole term.
Oh wow.
Yeah, before I moved back and got admitted. So I was in class 8. So in my high school, I went to Nyaburu Girls, and I passed very well. What I can tell you, when I did my KCPE, in fact, I was the first girl in my district.
You were the best student.
Yeah, the best girl, not the best student.
The best girl.
So I got a full scholarship. So my fees was paid from Form 1 to Form 4 in Nyaburu.
You had a free high school education. You had a scholarship in high school.
It was like a bursary. It was given by the area member of parliament, by then called Manduku.
Oh, the popular Dr. Manduku.
Yeah. So
Dr. Manduku, one of the students you sponsored, is in the US. And when we return, we'll listen more about the story of Linet Maranga, who's now a student of master's or a master's. She's doing a master's of arts in English